Hi folks, back at my shop today. Somebody brought me a Pioneer SA-7500. He wanted me to check it out. He didn't think there was anything wrong with it, but he said that the volume was really loose, and I see it is loose. And he said I may have to clean the pods, but he's thinking from the last time that he's put it away that it was working. So really good shape too. Like look at this. This is the real McCoy. I'll show you as I take it apart. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this thing on through my dim bulb tester. What a dim bulb tester does is it tries out the amplifier under sort of like a safe mode. If that I know that everything is okay here, I'm safe to continue. So I'm going to shut it off, and we're going to take this apart. I just love doing this stuff. I love working on these old stereos, old receivers. I think they're worth, they're worth saving these. A lot of people caught the tap off. I am exposing a 47-year-old machine. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? These caps hold a lot of voltage, and they're up to 50 volt each. So this would be like 100 volt. If you look at this, this is loose. So that's what he was talking about, eh? You can tell that's loose. Yeah, I think there's no issue tightening that up. But anyways, we're going to continue on with this. I do know that I don't have any voltage going through here, and this is off, and this is off as well. My switch is on and off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this way, and I'm going to take the bottom plate out. This is going to expose these circuit boards where I'll be able to test these capacitors. What I want to do is I want to make sure that there's no voltage on these two caps. These are 50 volts each, and if there was any voltage left in these capacitors, even though it's not plugged in, these store energy. So I want to make sure that there's no energy in these capacitors, because it could, it could damage my equipment or give me a little shock, and I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that there's no power to them. So this one is 0.4 voltage, so that's good. And this one is at 0 volt, so which is also good. Yep, so there's no voltage to this. I do know that this amplifier turns on the relay, which is over here, that clicked in. I'm going to check a couple of these capacitors. They are 40 plus years old. And a capacitor, I don't know, they say the capacitor is good for about 10 years. Now that I have it open, I was going to, check things. Go maybe a little further so, we can all jump in on this and see how much fun we can have. I'm ready to test some of these capacitors, so I'm going to flip this around. Here's a big cap there, so I'm going to, I don't know if you guys can see, test this cap here. It's testing good. Really good. Here's another one. This one not so good. That one's really good. Good. That one's good. This capacitor here is testing very weak. So this one here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm going to take it out of there. The value of this capacitor was still good. It's at 2.5, but the leakage was pretty high, and therefore I decided to change it because it was on its way out, and it would have caused maybe an issue maybe 6 months down the road, or God knows, it could have lasted another 10 years. I don't know. This is the replacement capacitor. I've got the same value. It's a 2.2 microfarad at 50 volt. On this circuit board there is a positive and a negative. I don't know if you can see that, but I can. I'll just put the positive on the positive, negative on the negative, and put it in place, and now it's ready to be soldered onto the board. Probably my fingers are probably in the way. I just need to cut these legs. And there. That's how you change a capacitor. So what I've done is I've tested all of this. Oh, I've got a busted finger. I've tested all of this. They test okay. That was the only one that was this one. So I just replaced it for good measurement. And now we're on to the next step. This one here has a torque screw inside. I can't just pull it off, so I believe it's usually the T7 or the T8, and it's the T7 this time, so I'm just gonna loosen that one up. And there's usually two. There's one here and one here, and this is the one that I just loosened. I'm going to tackle this one, or maybe not. There. This was kind of loose, I think. Yep. So there you go. Look how heavy this is, eh? Can you see this? You know, bring it back to life. Got a brand new look. Nothing wrong with that. You know, you put this in your living room, and then people are gonna say, "What the hell? This is awesome! Where did you get this?" Oh, just like that. Listen to this. thick that is? Huh? How thick that is? What I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten. Yeah. See, this is pretty loose, eh? So what I'm going to do is I'll take yeah, brand new. So I'm going to make sure that I've tightened the other ones. You know, it is a 47-year-old machine, so there's got to be something loose here somewhere. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to spray some contact cleaner in all of this, just to make sure that scratchy. And all I want to do is maybe take the fingerprints off, clean it out a little bit. I want to clean the knobs as well. And I'm going to come back and I'll set it, I'll put the plate back on. And then we'll play with the adjustments just to fool around and see. This is right at 0. Okay, so now I'm measuring the left channel, which is pin 1 and pin 2. This is pin 1 and pin 2. Okay. You know what my bias is supposed to be at, set at. This has never been changed. It's never been adjusted, and it never had to be adjusted because you've never changed any of these transistors. And I'm almost positive that it's already set. But now that it's open, I'm just curious if it is or not. You know, after 47 years, if it's still bang on, I mean, Pioneer did their job well, right? So it's telling me 8 ohm dummy load. should be connected to the speaker. Set the speaker to switch A. The tone should be off, the volume at minimal. The DC voltmeter should be between pin 1 and pin 2 for the left channel, and between the pin 3 and 4 for the right channel. And of course the amplifier should run 10 minutes or so to warm it up before you take any measurements. And it's been around that. It's been about 5 to 10 minutes. And, you know, we're still going up, so it's not settled yet, but it will. So that is the left channel. Now we're going to do the right channel. Okay. Okay, so this is the pin number 4. And here's pin number 3. And here is my multimeter. And it's running at 22.4, which is perfectly normal. There, the next important step to do is we want to make sure that there's no DC volts coming out to your speaker terminals. That could really damage your speakers. That is something that you really need to check. And it's pretty easy to do. You just put your probes in here, hooked up to your multimeter. Put this at DC volt and turn it on. Right now it's at 0. I hope you guys can see that, eh? Yeah. Okay. Turn it on. And the relay clicked in. This whole system is working as it should. And it's at 0.05. So that's how much DC volt it's coming out of my left channel. That is acceptable. Now let's try the right channel. And the right channel is at 0.52. So that is acceptable as well. So now that I've checked the DC voltage coming out of my speakers, I know they're safe, I'm going to go for my last step. And the final step, I just want to hook it up to my speakers. Now that I know that there's no DC voltage coming out of this speaker terminal, hooked it up to my machine. The speaker terminal, it comes through my scope, so you'll be able to see the sound waves from both left and right channel. We'll be able to see if there's any scratchy pods that I've cleaned already, and I don't think there's any. And I've also have a 1 kilohertz of sine wave that's hooked up to my auxiliary. My stereo is picking it up, and there it is. You can see that I have a good sine wave. Both channels are equal as well. I'm going to bring this up to about 5 volts per division. There we go. This is cranked right up. No distortion at all. Really nice pods that I've cleaned. And there's no scratchiness at all. You would see it on the scope. There's my volume, and here is my balance. Right now you're seeing my left channel. Bringing the right channel up. See how the balance is not scratchy at all. It's really smooth. There, it's perfectly normal. We're all done testing this amplifier. It was a pretty, easy job, but it was a fun job as well. And the reason I put it on video, I wanted to share with you guys that it's really not that hard. To put this back on the shelf may cost you like pennies. This one didn't cost me anything really. All I did was change one capacitor, and I didn't really have to change it. I just changed it because it was reading high ESR, but I could have left it in. And all I did was, clean all the pods, tighten this volume because it was really loose. Remember, as I was a kid, I used to love music. And as we get older, music comes back to us, and how we played our music back then with LPs, it was, there's something about it, there's a magical moment. Where we're at an age where we're getting a little older, we're starting to slow down a little bit, and we kind of appreciate the vintage stuff. We kind of remember, how it was back then. And it's always nice to go back to that stuff and think back, oh my God, life was so good back then. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you watch some of my other videos that I'm going to make.